Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. So today we're gonna see what we will learn in our first lecture. Our very first lecture, we have 3 subtopics. So we're gonna see the definition of green technology. So what is actually Hvac, and last but not least, the combination of these tools, green technology and Hvac, which is green technology Hvac. So what is it actually? I hope you will get something from this lecture. So green technology, what does that mean? Alright, so green, if you mention green, what picture will come or appear in your head? And as for me, the green, as you mention it, now I can imagine the better environment, the greener environment. So it is friendly or friendlier to the environment. So everything is in place. Everything, the environment is undisturbed, for example. And technology. So technology is actually the application of knowledge for practical purposes. And in technology, we use techniques, skills, methods, and processes to produce something, goods or services, or accomplish any objectives, or for example in scientific investigation. So green technology is a combination of green and technology. So this green technology utilizes methods and materials to develop techniques that are friendly or friendlier to the environment than if compared to the past methods or material. And green technology also means new ideas about environmental friendly concepts, and it also includes the energy efficiency, the better energy efficiency, and of course friendlier to the environment. Right, first we need to protect the environment from hazardous emission, because in all methods or materials it may emit certain hazardous gas or material. So we need to replace these methods and materials into the greener one. So by going green, we will also conserve natural resources and reduce the fossil fuel usage by having other fuel alternatives, for example from biomass waste or renewable energy, which is better and produce lesser harmful gases, or use less conventional fossil fuel like petroleum oil or coal and so on. And by using better fuel which emits better gas or less harmful gas, then this will contribute to good human health. And we go green to support the increasing green energy production, and also to support government's initiative to support and the environment, and government's initiative there are several government initiatives that that already launched by the government. For example, the guideline to use green technology appliances, use alternative fuel. For example, in Malaysia, we use solar, increasingly used in Malaysia, especially by industries. So we need to support this green energy production for a better future. Alright, this is what's going on, and in this issue has been discussed for several years already. The seawater level is already increasing due to the increasing temperature, and this temperature increases due to greenhouse effect, and it causes the higher temperature will cause the flood due to the ice melting in the south pole of our south hemisphere since 50 years ago, and it is predicted in year 2100 the water level, the seawater level, will keep increasing up to 1.5 meter around the world. So this is an image captured in September 2006 in Antarctic. This is basically a hole, ozone hole, that is recorded due to this temperature increase, or this greenhouse effect. So we need to do something. This is just an article that I found regarding the issue. Okay, there are several green technology subject areas, and one of it is green building. This encompasses everything from the choice of building materials to the building location, and so on and so on. And this area aims to produce the higher energy efficient building and the environmental friendlier material of the building. So the second areas in green technology is environmentally preferred purchasing. So users now have higher green awareness, and they are searching for products whose contents and methods of production, aka carbon footprint, a lower carbon footprint which has the smallest possible impact on the environment. And the third areas is green chemistry. So the invention and design and application of chemical products and processes, this area aims to reduce or eliminate the use of hazardous substances. The fourth one is green nanotechnology. What is nanotechnology? Is a manipulation of materials at the scale of nanometer or 1/1000th of meter. And some scientists believe that if we master this subject area, this nanotechnology, then we will transform the way everything in the world is manufactured. So better manufacturing, so greener manufacturing, by mastering this nanotechnology. And the last area is energy, but it is the most important areas in green technology, because this is an urgent issue, because we want to produce components or appliances or machines that have better energy efficiency, which uses alternative fuels and possibly from renewable energy, which means this process will save costs and have better environmental effect. The areas are not limited to this. There are more areas in green technology subject, but this is what I listed here, so maybe you can explore further. So what is Hvac? So Hvac is I know by now you are in year 4 and you know what Hvac means, so we're gonna refresh a bit. So Hvac is heating, ventilation and air conditioning. It is basically technology that we use to produce thermal comfort with acceptable indoor air quality for buildings, houses, indoors, and also vehicles and so on. And all this design is a design based on certain guidelines or standards. There are many standards from ASHRAE and so on, but for Code of Practice on Energy Efficiency and Use of Renewable Energy for Non-Residential Building, we can use the standard of MS 1525 for year 2007. And according to this guideline, the recommended design bulb temperature is between 23 and 26 degrees Celsius, and the minimum dry bulb temperature is 22 degrees Celsius. The recommended design relative humidity is between 55 and 70%. The recommended air movement is between 0.15 to 0.5 meter per second, and the maximum air movement to produce air comfort to maintain the thermal comfort zone is 0.5 meter per second. And what is indoor air quality? It refers to air quality within and around buildings and structures, and of course air quality will affect on human health or occupants' health, and it is affected by gases, by particulates, microbial contaminants, for example such as mold and bacteria, or any mass or energy stressor. And these gases, for example carbon monoxide, VOC, and so on, cannot be exceeded within certain range, and this you can refer to ASHRAE guidelines and so on. For example, carbon dioxide levels are usually between 350 and 450 ppm or parts per million, and the maximum indoor carbon dioxide level should be lesser than 1000 parts per million. This is basically the schematic diagram of HVAC system. So in HVAC unit, there are several components, and for example for vapor compression system, we have compressor, we have condenser, expansion valve, evaporator, and so on, and of course including the ductwork. But for other types of system, for example adsorption system, and all the components will be different. There are refrigerant generator, for example, and so on. So I believe you can explore more on the types of HVAC system. So what is green technology Hvac? We have seen what is green technology, and we have seen what is Hvac. So what is actually the combination two? Green Hvac system means it is a system that produces not only thermal comfort with good air quality, but also it reduces pollution on environment such as global warming, and also it must be cost effective. How it will be a cost effective system? By improving the energy efficiency of each component, then we will save money. Alright, so green building design. All design of HVAC system will be done after all the components is designed in such a way that it is energy efficient. After all the energy efficient components are in place, only then we design the HVAC system. Why? Because the energy requirements are reduced, and natural heating and cooling is maximized through size orientation, passive design, insulation, air barriers, and landscaping. So one thing that is very crucial to energy efficiency is actually the correct sizing of HVAC system. If the system is too small for the load, then it will run heavily all the time to compensate the load, and the components will be the lifetime of the components will be shorter. And if the system is too large, that causes the load achieved within short period, then it will constantly turning on and off, because after the set temperature is already achieved, then it will turn off. It's too fast, and after a while it will turn on, and after it just started, then it turned off again because the set temperature is already achieved. So that cycle will happen continuously. That will cause the moisture is not dehumidified correctly, because the cooling coil is not functioning as it should be, and this will cause the condensation on the space walls, and of course it will lead to mold and Legionnaire's disease and so on. And the worst, it could cause also cancer. So what is the advantages of green HVAC? Alright, now I listed several advantages. It is not limited to this, and you can add more later. This is just to open your eyes. What are the advantages of green technology in HVAC field? One of it is the viability, which creates jobs and careers in this field, and this will truly help protect the environment. Sustainability, which means this technology could help to conserve natural resources, because we have many green alternatives as fuel, and of course it also improves the components performance. The third one is cradle to cradle design, and this means that the product can be fully recycled into new products at the end of its life cycle. For example, if we have a split unit, the components and also the housing of the system can be recycled back into a new product after it is damaged or at the end of its lifetime. Right, the fourth one is source reduction. Source reduction means to reduce waste and pollution by changing methods of production and energy consumption in order to help conserve energy and also, of course, the environment. The fifth one is innovation. So by this imaging of this field, that then there's more researcher or manufacturer or companies that will innovate alternative technologies that do not harm the environment. For example, in Hvac we have better refrigerant now and better efficient types of air conditioning system. If I can mention here, for example, the variable refrigerant flow system, which is better than the normal centralized system, and it will reduce the use of fossil fuel and chemicals that is hazardous to the environment and also to the people. And the researcher will is now trying to seek for better material or better substances to replace the chemicals that are used in the system, and they start using the renewable energies, for example solar in Malaysia, to replace the fossil fuels. Alright, so this is the examples of green Hvac system. These technologies are also not limited to this, but I just mentioned 4 here, and I will explain it later in the next lecture. There are many more green Hvac system available in the market. So one of it is air-to-air heat exchangers, which uses waste heat from recovery system, and ground source heat pump, which uses geothermal energy from the earth, and underfloor air distribution, and also variable refrigerant flow air conditioning system. Alright guys, I believe you can explore more. So thank you for listening, and see you in the next lecture.